refurbish a iPhone 7 Plus glass break. Usually I put tape, but it's got a plastic screen protector on there, so I'm going to roll with that. I think that will hold the glass. I'm just going to test this to show everybody that it works, and that it is truly just a glass break. And it's an OEM screen, obviously. And as you can see, no spots, no anything, it works good. I'm not going to let it boot all the way up, but you can see it works, it's not broken. And first thing we do is cut the frame on all these so that you can be able to get your glass through here and be able to remove the side frame. So I cut the 7 Plus like about right there. Ready to go back over it again there. Okay, place your blade on your hot plate there more often than I do, maybe. Right here, I come up to about there, I go in, and you can kind of feel when you hit the glass you've gone far enough. Over here, I go about right there. And there we go. And right there. Careful not to nick the LCD. I've done that before. Right there's the LCD. Don't nick the LCD. So it will break, I promise. Take over here, this machine is really awesome. Helps remove the frames on iPhones. Set it hot, 220 is fine. I count to about 20-ish. The iPhone 7 Plus frame is hard to get off if you don't use this. So I set it up here just so I can pull straight out, because if you pull up or down at an angle, you can break the LCD. So I take the blade and get the glue off the sides there. See, we got a little bit of that there, a little bit of the frame left, so take it off. Usually it'll come up pretty easy if you're using this hot thing to remove the frame. Just remove all the glue there, and let's do the other side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. Should come off pretty easy. Take this and just pull straight out like that, and it comes right off. It's really a lifesaver. It really saves a lot of time and energy. These frames are a pain to get off if you don't have that. So take your glue off again, right there. Make sure you got enough room at the top. I just removed that, so that's why I cut a little extra at the top. I usually like to go in the 7 Plus at the top. You can go in at the bottom. There's just a little more room for air. You just have more room at the top to get in to take the glass off. So that's what I like to do. There's that. And also there's been a widespread issue of touch issues with 7 and 7 Plus after refurbing. So we're going to address why that was happening, what you can do to avoid it, and not break your screens by damaging the flax. So we're going to take the glass off. I'm going to go from the top. That's what I like to do on the 7 Plus. Get your mat situated where you have the suction. Pulls through, and lay this down, hit your suction, and then press a few times, top and bottom. They kind of, yeah, it's pretty tight. So take, I like to use like pliers. They actually pull down really good, really hard and nice. Like you can really get underneath the glass well. Move our light over here a little bit. And after about 15 or 20 seconds, maybe 25, you can go ahead and get under here, because it's hot enough. Press down hard to begin with. Ooh. Once you're in, there we go. Press down super hard, you'll break your wire like I just did, but that's not a big deal. And keep going back and forth, like straight back and forth. Don't go like up or down. If you press up hard or down hard, you could break your LCD. So there's that. And pull your wire out. You only have to go through once on the 7 Plus. It's a little bit easier to refurb than some of the other ones. Kind of just easily pull it out. As you can see, LCD here, we didn't get under the polarizer or anything. We took off just the glass. And take the, there's some glue here at the top. You want to rub this off like this. And it's easy to rub off when it's hot. So, make sure you get it all. And just kind of roll your thumbs back and forth on it. So that's good. So we're going to test this just to show everyone this still works. And everything is good. We're going to test after each step, just like you would do if you're new at doing this, just to show what you should be doing, and go over some of the issues people were having with why the touch didn't work after you refurbished your screen. So I'm going to boot this up and show everyone, hey, it still works. There you go, as you can see, it still works, no backlight sag. If you leave it on the hot plate too long, you will have backlight sag, I guarantee it. So, this looks really good. I don't see any issues whatsoever. Our next step's going to be taking the polarizer off, and that's where a lot of your touch issues are coming in at. So, we'll go ahead and let this boot just to show everyone that it touches. Okay, so it touches. It's hard to touch with the glue on there. You can see it does touch. No issues, no lines or anything. Definitely touches fine, so there's that. You can't press the home button, but as you see, everything touches. No problem. Alright, disconnect it here and get our polarizer off. Show you what we used for that. You need this here. Like this plate is why you're having touch issues. If you use this one, it's unlikely that you'll have touch issues. If you use this one, you will have touch issues because you have to lay out these flat, so 90-degree angle. By laying them out flat, 90-degree angle, you're flexing them too much and they get damaged. So this one fits right in here like this, see? And so you can lay it down flat like that. So we want to take, for our polarizer machine, it's kind of messed up, so we have to take and make sure this doesn't come down because that was breaking LCDs. So we have to like tighten it up with this Velcro strap that we came up with. And it does work pretty well. Once that's there, it doesn't come down much. So with the 7 Plus, you got to go in kind of far to get, with our polarizer machine, to get, to have enough room to get it off. So right here at the top, there's a little gap, you'll see. There we go. And then it's kind of rotated as you go along there. We're almost in far enough there. That was pretty good. So a little bit more. That should be enough. Pull this back with your hand and lay this down. Make sure this is clean. This has to be perfectly clean. If there's any like glue there, it pops the LCD up. You can crack it from pressure damage from this. So there's that. Make sure you have those out. And that this is down perfectly in the frame. It has to be perfectly down in there. And now we're gonna take our Velcro off so we can push this down. But take this, pull this back, and I like to hold it like this so that I'm pressing on the back so that what doesn't happen is that this lifts up in any way, shape, or form. So put this down and then just kind of roll it off. You can go slowly. Don't go super slow though, you can have backlight sag. So there's that, lift up here, lift out, and pull this out carefully. And then take your polarizer and tear it off left to right, so, or right to left, doesn't really matter. The top there, and just kind of pull it away. See how it's all on there? You got some excess glue on the side, just rub it off there. And then now we're going to clean the LCD. We'll have to clean the glue off. We use a solution called 8222, buy from China. Highly recommend using a ton of precaution. We have no idea what's in it. This is your frame for 7 Plus. I like these frames. They're pretty accurate compared to some of the other ones on the market. And so I've used these little bottles to put our 8222 in. You can get 8222 from China. Pretty much the best price. You can get it from America, but you're gonna pay a lot more for it. So there's that. What I do first is put I highly recommend wearing a mask and actually gloves. Let me grab a glove. Take some of this 8222. That should be enough for one screen, and go over like that. And I take my finger right here by the connectors, so it doesn't get on the connectors, and then just a little bit over there. You don't want it to get on them. That's another reason you're having touch issues, is people get 8222 on the actual flexes and it damages them. This stuff's wicked, so it gets the glue off, but it's wicked. There's that. Just kind of touch, let it settle for probably a couple minutes. The longer you let it settle, the easier it is to get the glue off. So if you're impatient, your job will be a little bit harder. I always do a little bit extra at the top here. The top's kind of more difficult to get that off, so there's that. That. Touch. Don't let it run off into the backlight. We had an issue with an iPhone 7 recently. Careful there. So just let it set for a couple minutes, and then we'll resume when that's ready. Like that around, it's still at the top. We waited a while, so it should pretty much just about all come off. Look at that. Perfect. So I do like to take and rub a little more, because there's always like some extra spots that have some glue, like at the top there, and just kind of lightly rub though. Don't press down hard. If you press down hard, definitely can break your LCD. You don't want to do that. These are expensive, especially 7 Plus. Like just cracked ones are 40 bucks or so. This one was like customers from today. We're refurbing for our next customer, so kind of what we do. So the customer's not waiting on us to refurb while they're in our waiting area. You should be able to clean this so well that you hardly have to do much in the clean room. Like you shouldn't have to do a ton of work in there. So there's that. And had some dust. We'll get that off in the clean room. So that way, take we use acetone for this, and we turn this on for a little bit. This does help with dust and everything. So always put this on the rag. Don't put it directly on the screen. Never put it directly on the screen. You will get it in your backlight, and you'll have what looks like a really water damaged phone. There. That helps really get rid of the dust. This thing is really good for that. So there's that. A couple spots. There's that. Probably go ahead and turn this. I turn that off right before I'm about to grab a piece of glass, because you don't want moisture to get under the screen. I found out a little bit of issues with that, so and sometimes you have to go back and grab a little bit of 8222 if you have extra glue that you couldn't really see over there, because under a clean room or something you can see a lot better. So clean a little bit more here. You can really see pretty good under this light. If you have anything, kind of run your light back and forth over it. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna grab a piece of glass. See what our score is here. Double check your glass too. If you have an issue just yesterday. Yeah, see, there's another piece of dust, so you gotta watch. And do actually a final, final wipe before. But see the glass, like you want to make sure, look at it like through a light. Make sure you have no bubbles, no dust. This stuff's not going to come out. Like we had to redo a screen earlier because I didn't check the glass. So make sure you got no dust, no bubbles, anything. That one looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and roll with this one. We're gonna make sure the screen's clean. We had a piece of dust on this corner there, now it's gone. And I think the rest of this looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and put our glass on. What I'm gonna do is take this over here, kind of out of the way a little bit, pull down, and then come over in the frame, kind of lay it in place. And I like to pull out and then tap from the bottom up, and then from the top, you put one little dot in the middle. And that's how you do that. So take and make sure your frame is in there, and it is, so you don't have any glue around the edges. Because if your frame is hanging over that, it will break your LCD every single time when you put it in here. We use the OMK6 Edge machine. Works really well for getting out bubbles and laminating. So it is ready to go. I'm gonna put this down a little flatter. This plastic. Actually, I'm just gonna take it off for now. Put it back on. There we go. Hit, all you have to do is hit start if you're in auto mode. Press down a little bit on that right when it starts. Helps give it a good seal. It's in there for about a minute. And that's, once it comes out of there, you'll have a little bit of bubbles. And then we put it in the autoclave. We don't actually usually keep it in there for 10 minutes. I have it set at 10 just because some screens take longer than others. So, you can take it out usually after roughly 5 minutes-ish. If there's hardly any bubbles, sometimes on the iPhone 6, you hardly ever even have to put it in here from here, depending on the type of glass you use, where you get your glass from. I've had a bunch that I didn't even have to put in this machine at the bottom. So the 7 Pluses you always have to put in here. That doesn't get all the bubbles out. It does help, but it doesn't get all the bubbles out. Out of here, it's done. Pull it out of here. And as you can see, that looks like it's about normal. So you usually have down here and down there the type of glass we use. Just that's where the bubbles come. These should all come out. And you can see that's just on top of the glass. That's not underneath of it. See there when I pulled that off? I'm going to put this back on. I just thought it wasn't sticking that great. I didn't want to put it in the laminator. So now I'll close that, put this in here. Lay it flat down on that. Make sure this looks like this on the inside and not turned up like that. Okay, so flat. I had it turned up before and it broke an LCD. So lay that in there, close it up, hit exhaust. It's going to fill up. Takes about roughly a minute to fill up. It gets to about 100 psi, and then it's just a waiting game to get the bubbles out. We set our laminating pressure at 53.3. It comes factor like 70. I thought that was a little hard, so I turned it down. And then we kept the vacuum at the preset that it came with, which is 97. We do vacuum for 40 seconds. We do lamination for 15, and that's for every model iPhone. We're probably going to do Samsung in the future, but we don't right now. So obviously those settings will probably change once we start doing Samsung. But that's what we do now, and we'll come back to you once we have this done out of the autoclave. 6 minutes, 6.5. We're gonna go ahead and hit exhaust. You kept it in there the full 10, it doesn't matter. Keep this temperature low and you won't have a problem. Don't keep that at like 40 or 45. You could have backlight side, it gets too hot. So we're gonna take this out of here and close that back up. Don't leave that open, you'll get dust in there and stuff. So pull this out. As you can see, There is no dust, no bubbles. The machine autoclave did its job. So let's go test. So, as you can see, let's pull this back a little. There are no issues with the screen at all. No dust, no dirt, no backlight sag. 100% OEM LCD digitizer. The glass obviously is refurbished, but you know, you're getting an original display. The glass is OEM quality. Very, very good stuff. We'll let it boot, show you guys it touches, attach our mesh, and we'll be done. It's finally booted. As you know, these take a while to boot when they're not, as you can see, touches, no problem. So, there we go. So I will attach the mesh, and we get the mesh. I got it on AliExpress, I think, in bulk, because we do quite a bit of refurbishing. So, I think I laid it over here. We'll grab another one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so take and put your mesh down, line it up, and you have completed OEM iPhone 7 Plus refurbishing.